yes, you have purchased some property and now this is your school, your institution, your whatever, that gives you the right to say whatever mean things that you want to say. Like, I'm not here really to debate whether or not you can say mean things. I'm here to debate why you say those mean things.
A gay and lesbian group that's trying to end what it calls religious intolerance is at Liberty University this afternoon. Soulforce has come to LU in the past, but their visits have not always gone smoothly. In 2006, more than 20 members of the group were arrested when they crossed onto LU property without permission.
Today's event to kind of try to fit it into that dynamic of persecution that we had come to their campus to be like, actually, we take issue with the things that you are saying and the ways that that's like damaging LGBTQI people.
On your own campus.
On your own campus, right? And
these are your people.
And I feel like we would get accused of that somehow that was persecution, because what they were feeling was discomfort. Mm-hmm. Because I think Soulforce engages in a kind of a work and a way of relating to people that is somewhat rare. Not many organizations, we go to you. We show up at your place to talk to you about that thing, and we're not going away. And I feel like that's, people sort of talk to each other from like over here to over there, and maybe they meet in the middle in some sort of like media regulated space, like a talk show or whatever. But, so then they were like feeling like affronted that we would come to them at their private property space. And frankly, I just don't hold private property values and all of the sort of like ideologies and mythologies that come along with that as like higher than or more important than like the safety and well-being of LGBTI people. I mean, it was always just sort of like, well, Jesus didn't really have a board of trustees or a property deed, right. So like I'm really not here to talk about those things.
And we speak the language, we're putting a face, and queer people, LGBTI people become real and quote unquote, and I don't like using this phrase, normal. Mm-hmm. And that just throws them off because they have this very abstract concept of who we are and what we're supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. And just like everything, we're diverse. And here we are talking about the Bible and using terms that are not only their language, it's our language. Mm-hmm. And that just throws them off, and they get into a tizzy because they don't know what to do.
It's like outside force that's invading, but wait a second, you're being really respectful and you've read the same book that I'm reading, and now I don't know what to make of it because like there's some cultural values around we're supposed to be hospitable and in community, and then there's the flip side of like, you don't belong here because you didn't pay tuition to be here or something like that. And I'm always sort of like, it's bigger than your tuition, it's bigger than your property, like it's bigger than like, the deed you have on this space that says you can do what you want here.
Bursting the
that's
bubble.
That's what I'm after. I'm after the bigger thing, right?
That's what you do next. Mm-hmm. They're safe in their own little world, on their property, in their college, in their trust fund.
Yeah.
And here we are offering an alternative, offering a third way, and that's really scary.
Yeah.
Very powerful, but very scary.
I think that really kind of ticks people off that like that's not what they thought money and purchasing power does.
You're here to take away my power, which is not what we're there for, but that's how we're perceived.
So I know that you are paid X and X dollars, and we know that you have this work history and you are this many years old, and still like I, Haven, call you to account. That's a really uncomfortable dynamic that can't, like, at least for me, isn't shut down by somebody saying, well, these are the police we have brought in to protect our property line. Like, that doesn't really work for me. Like, that is entirely beside the point.
The queer students on campus, how they must feel. We have this privilege or what have you, but do we really?
Yeah.
And having to sort of live a double life. Mm-hmm. And we've seen on campuses what that can lead to, tragedy, violence, self-violence. to have one's university, one's community not really uphold you just because of this one thing about you, and it's sad.
If England does not grant your demand, are you prepared to return to jail again?
I am always prepared to return to jail.